Live from Town Square Towers at the heart of the Jersey Shore. Wake up with Jeremy Grunin. Get up, get out, do something. Join the conversation. 732-505-1160. News Talk Radio WOBM AM 1160 and 1310. Listen online at WOBMAM.com.
Welcome back. Wake up with Jeremy Grunin. 6:08, March 17th, 45 degrees, getting up to 65. 15% chance of rain at some point today. That's really helpful. WOBM AM 1160 and 1310 News Talk Radio. Streaming live on the Radio Pup app and WOBMAM.com. 732-505-1160 to join the conversation. With us in studio, we have Bob Gold. Bob is the founder and owner of GoMo Health. Good morning.
Good morning, Jeremy.
And, Bob is obviously much better equipped to run a show than I am, because the first thing he said when he walked in was Happy St. Patrick's Day. And I obviously am so caught up in, everything else happening in, because it's all about me, that I forgot about St. Patrick's Day. So happy St. Patrick's Day.
Thank you. I brought it up because I just got back from Dublin 2 weeks ago. I spoke at the National Health Summit, and I just love the Irish people. It's great, but I didn't get to kiss the Blarney Stone.
Right, which we've talked about, and Zach, when Zach and I first started here, we actually started a few days late because Zach was like, "Oh, I got to go to Ireland. I got this trip," and so I happened to Tara Cunningham, who works with me. Her husband is from Ireland. She lived in Ireland for 18 years, and they said, please don't kiss the Blarney Stone because the locals there, they like to, as a prank, because they know tourists all kiss it, they like to make pee-pee on the Blarney Stone. So I don't know if that's true. It could just be folklore. Anyway, Bob, talk to us about GoMo Health. What is this all about?
Well, GoMo Health is all about how to care for people in their daily life when they have chronic conditions or they're discharged from the hospital. It's technology that actually mimics what a real nurse or doctor would be telling you in the moment while you're walking around, and you could answer and it interacts with you. It's like having a personal golf caddy or concierge at your side. And our clients are hospitals, healthcare plans, and we do a lot in Medicaid and underserved markets to help people.
Okay, and how did you get involved in this? And is your background in medicine? What was the impetus for this getting started?
Well, several. It's a great story. I am what you would call a behavioral technologist. Have you ever heard of that?
Does that mean you're like you try? No, I have no idea what that is.
Yeah, either do I, but I'll give it a shot. So I have 22 years of research and development into digital to human motivation and persuasion. So in other words, how do humans build trust, credibility, reciprocity, and how do humans believe in technology? So in other words, do you trust your car navigation system? If WebMD or an app tells you something about your health care, do you believe that more than your physician?
Right.
So what are the elements in that? If you're an astronaut in a spaceship and you see all the buttons and dashboard, what do you push and how do you do it? So I've had this background, and one day I was sitting and I've applied it to all types of technology, helping companies build out software, hardware, and make it usable. And one day I was sitting in a diner, and it was after my parents both died unexpectedly from medical issues.
Sorry.
And thank you. And I was sitting in a diner, and across the way were two ladies, and they were older, gray hair. And amazingly, they were on their phones. They weren't talking to each other. And I'm thinking, you know what? This is going to be bigger than the internet, mobile. And so since then, I've applied my skill set in developing a science around how to engage with patients in a way that makes them more adherent to taking their medication or getting exercise, doing the types of things they need to do. And now, with the government, not only in the U.S., but around the world, there's not enough clinicians, there's not enough money, and they're trying to avoid readmissions. As you know, they try to get you out of the hospital right away.
Sure.
So, this is that was sort of the aha moment I had.
So when you say, first of all, there's so many thoughts that came to mind. The first thing I thought of, did you ever see the movie Ex Machina?
No.
Okay.
Ex Machina?
Right. Is
it like a Yiddish thing
No.
or something? Machina?
No. It's
all right.
No. So this movie is, and I think I'm saying it right. It's basically about this super brilliant, like think Mark Zuckerberg a type, right? Who has this robotics company. And he's basically in love with this robot that he created, that he's trying to create this perfect robot that's like a human, and so it's really so when you say how you interact with technology, this was probably beyond that a little bit. If you see the movie, you'll laugh.
We'll have to go see it.
Yeah,
now.
and retrospectively, you'll laugh. It was very, very good. 2015. I'm not dating myself here on this one, but okay. But more importantly. I did see we saw a presentation about a year ago now of a robot that patients can take home with them, right? That basically it has the retinal recognition software in it, everything else, so that when for the elderly, as an example, wake up in the morning. This robot says to them, "Hey, good morning, Bob. Did you take your medicine yet today?" Right. And if they say, they may say yes, and it says great. And if they say, I don't remember, it says, well, how many pills do you have left in your bottle? Yesterday you had 22. Right?
Yeah. Yeah. No. And it's actually very similar because we interface to, like a watch you can wear. We're working with appliance companies. So our messaging could talk to you through an appliance, and everyone could use their phone, regardless of how it could be as simple as a text message.
Sure.
So, because in order to scale, right, the issue is if you're a hospital or you're a provider and you have 500 patients with 1,800 disease states, you have to have something that could scale. So we're in what's called the cloud, and we're able to do this with everyone on their own devices. So you can really have mass scalability, but it personalizes it.
Right.
Just one quick point. The movie I did see, though, did you ever see Patch Adams?
That's older.
Yeah. But that was where if you treat a person, if you'll be successful. If you treat a disease state, you won't. That was the whole idea.
Gotcha.
And I loved that movie, by the way. That was another inspiration for me.
So just to review, you were inspired by two elderly women on their cell phone and Patch Adams.
That's right.
All right. Well, listen.
I guess I need a life.
You never know where one is going to draw inspiration, do you?
No.
Okay. Well, that's great. So from an end user standpoint, and I guess from a patient standpoint, this isn't something that they would be paying for typically. This is a service that hospitals are participating in it, and you're really on the software side of it. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So absolutely. And interestingly enough, so our clients are hospitals. They're also pharmaceutical companies who provide it to doctors for patients because they want people to be adherent to their medication.
Right.
And also healthcare plans. In fact, we do a lot around the country, not New Jersey, with Medicaid. A lot of underserved markets, right, where kids have severe asthma, there's high-risk pregnancies, and our system's communicating to them in a very personalized way. So it actually could learn based on how they want to communicate and personalizes the frequency. We could even change the voice. In other words, the message almost could sound like it's coming from a doctor, a nurse, a peer.
Right.
It's very interesting because people learn different ways.
Or a young Swedish girl.
Exactly.
Okay,
that would be for you, Jeremy.
Right, I know. Not that I'm just saying. I mean, there's nothing. Anyway, Bob, we have to take a break, but when we come back, I do want to get a sense for why the Jersey Shore, why you picked the Jersey Shore as a place to start. Like where you're already doing this. Maybe some great examples of success stories, et cetera, et cetera. I think there's so much to talk about. Bob Gold, GoMo Health. Be right back after this.
Wake up with Jeremy Grunin wherever you go. Download the Radio Pup app for your smartphone or tablet. News Talk Radio WOBM AM 1160 and 1310. Now, back to Wake Up with Jeremy Grunin News Talk Radio WOBM AM 1160 and 1310 and WOBMAM.com.
Welcome back. We're here with Bob Gold, GoMo Health. So, Bob, why the Jersey Shore? What's that all about? Why'd you pick this for to start your quest for world domination?
I love the Jersey Shore, and it's galaxy domination, Jeremy.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So, love the Jersey Shore, and the reason why is, being in the technology business, sometimes you have trouble recruiting. When I had a business in Manhattan, it was easy. When you come out to the suburbs, sometimes it's hard. But I tell you, places at the Jersey Shore like Red Bank, Asbury, it has all these eclectic little villages, has that sort of urban feel to it, right? And for the type of talent I need, it's much easier actually to attract it. And interestingly enough, I visited Austin and Nashville, and I visited their accelerators, and they started as music towns.
Sure.
And now, huge technology. South by Southwest is in Austin. Nashville is a big tech hub. So I investigated why. And it's the same lifestyle that attracts music and those types of media, attracts the type of people who are going to start businesses and especially technology-related businesses. So we're applying that in Asbury Park. There's a music city, and now we're going to make it into a tech hub.
So there's a lot of ways I can go from here. A lot of the same things attract both groups.
Yeah.
So let's see. Alcohol, a single scene,
yes.
a party scene, a fun environment. The Jersey Shore, right, is a good attraction for all that.
No,
right?
That's absolutely right.
Yeah.
Because people, it's a lifestyle. People want to be where they can live a certain lifestyle.
Right.
And the type of people who think like that and who take risks and who are a little on the edge, right? If you think about it, what you just said is attractive.
Right. Oh, listen, I don't know who it's not attractive to. So let me ask you this: when you say business accelerator, what is that? What do you mean by that? Explain to me what you mean by an accelerator.
Okay, because we've had such a good experience, but we want to attract more people. We want to attract more businesses down the shore. We're actually starting with a guy in my company, Gary Pollock, a health and life sciences IT accelerator. And what I mean by that is companies who have technologies and programs for around pharmaceuticals, biotech, and healthcare to migrate down the Jersey Shore. And in fact, we're getting interest from companies in Europe and Asia that want to crack the U.S. market, right? And where are they going to be? And we think we can attract a lot of them down here. So we're going to be opening up a facility, happens to be in Asbury Park, that has a lot of services for companies looking to do business in that area. And we're going to attract talent. And we really want to make it, kind of a hub of technology down at the Jersey Shore.
Now, are you getting any kind of support from the town in that regard?
Well, it's interesting. We met with New Jersey EDA, a lot of bio life science groups. There's a lot of universities. Monmouth, we're working very closely with Monmouth University, and we're getting a lot of interest. And we haven't gone to the town of Asbury yet, but New Jersey Natural Gas is participating. So there's a lot of interest, and we're getting a lot of excitement in it. And we're zeroing in on a location, which I can't talk about yet for the accelerator.
No, I understand. I guess I was just, it's funny because it's a very it's very hip now to talk about accelerators, incubators. These facilities. These kind of idea generating areas.
Yeah, and it was interesting because I did a little tour, Nashville, Austin, other places, Silicon Valley, where I have a lot of friends. And the issue with most incubators, or what they call accelerators, it's for people starting a company and there's an environment, but it really doesn't help them be successful.
Right.
Like what we're doing is helping them with sales, market, distribution. Helping them figure out the usability and human factors around their product, helping bring in actual clients,
Right.
And so it's really a market accelerator, right?
Gotcha.
And because in the end of the day, you know, 9 out of 10 companies fail.
Right.
So those are the little things because they run out of cash. Right.
Sure.
So we're going to really help companies. We want to attract those types of talents. The Jersey Shore is perfect because it's a collection of little villages, and you could choose to live in one of those in your area. Like I live in Asbury Park. Right to the north of me is Deal.
Right.
And to the south of me is Ocean Grove.
Right.
So you couldn't get 3 different communities.
Sure.
You know.
Sure. Okay, cool. When we come back, I do want to kind of go back, right? Because you've already mentioned that you had a business in the city and some other things. So I'd like to get a little bit more background on what you used to do. I'd also like to know, we're going to give you the Wake Up with Jeremy Grunin magic wand about what you would do to make life changing, to make some kind of change in the community or in your sector. And so we'll talk more about that after the break. We're here with Bob Gold, GoMo Health, talking about a variety of exciting things at the Jersey Shore. We'll be right back after this.
The news is next. Live from the WOBM Newsroom, the Town Square, New Jersey News Network, and Fox News Radio. Wake up with Jeremy Grunin. News Talk Radio WOBM AM 1160 and 1310. Live from the Jersey Shore to the world. Get up, get out, do something. Wake up with Jeremy Grunin. Take the show wherever you go. Download the free Radio Pup app for your smartphone or tablet. Join the conversation, 732-505-1160. News Talk Radio WOBM AM 1160 and 1310. Listen online at WOBMAM.com.
Welcome back. Wake Up with Jeremy Grunin, 6:33 in the morning, Thursday, March 17th. Happy St. Patrick's Day. 45 degrees, getting up to 65. 15% chance of rain today. That's 1 in 7. So I don't know what that's going to do for you today, but I'm just letting you know. WOBM AM 1160 1310 News Talk Radio, streaming live on the Radio Pup app and at WOBMAM.com. 732-505-1160 if you want to join the conversation. We are here with Bob Gold, GoMo Health. We're talking incubators, accelerators, healthcare. We've kind of run the gamut in a short time. Bob, you have a very diverse background. So you mentioned, businesses in New York. Where did you get started? How did you kind of get on this path to where you are today?
Yeah, I'll tell you. I've also owned and operated an organic farm in Monmouth County for 5 years and had an animation company. So I grew up in East Patterson. I've been a Jersey boy my whole life. I went to Rutgers. And now I live down the Jersey Shore, and I started in technology, right? And then I saw that people weren't utilizing technology well. So I ended up taking a trip to universities who were studying human behavior and technology. And this is way back, Georgia Tech, Illinois, MIT, and Stanford. I ended up partnering with Stanford. They have a captology lab headed by a behavioral psychologist. So since then, I've worked with what would be called cognitive neuroscientists, behavioral psychologists, sociologists, anthropologists, studying how human brain works,
right,
how it thinks, how it absorbs, why it acts, how it derives pleasure, right? And how do you build technology that could stimulate and motivate some of those behaviors, right? So I'm not a big company guy. Most of my clients are big companies. So I've done a lot of little companies and I grow them. And in the past, I've ended up selling them. So I had a company in New York, downtown by Wall Street. We built the first ever online 401k system for the major banks, first ever online stock option system, one of the first trading systems. My whole thing is building technology, the intersection of technology and human behavior, right? In fact, what I did was to learn, I felt, a lot of agencies and companies build these user interfaces, right, for technology. It just wasn't the ticket. So I ended up buying an animation company called Magnet Pictures because I said, who could make people laugh and cry? People in TV, movies. So I actually studied how movies are made and TV and how software is done. And I ended up buying Magnet Pictures. We mostly did kids superhero stuff, but they interfaced with my tech people. We produced some of the most amazing experiences. And luckily, we actually won 2 TV Emmy Awards. We did all the animation for the Rosie O'Donnell show and The Nanny, and we ended up winning some daytime Emmys for that.
Wow. So you had to. So you're telling me that you had to deal with Fran Drescher's laugh for that long?
Yeah, she's great.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about Rosie, but Fran was wonderful.
All right then. All right, cool. So really, just and, you know, if you're listening at home right now, you probably think Bob is like 84 years old based on the amount of businesses he's had. But I will tell you, he doesn't look a day over 60. If I were to guess instead. No, probably maybe a hair younger. All right, so cool. So okay, we're gonna give you the magic wand, right, and your ability to kind of make an impact just by waving the wand, using the pixie dust, wiggling your nose, Tabitha style from Bewitched. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna change? What are you gonna impact?
Okay, well, if I could wave the magic wand, there's a lot of technology being developed in healthcare. There's apps, there's portals. But it typically is all wrong. It doesn't work as humans. And what humans want is short, quick, something in the moment to help them, right? And it has to go to them. There's no sick, pregnant woman throwing up saying, I got to log my stuff into an app and portal. It doesn't work. So what I'm starting to do, what I would love is the opportunity to educate more healthcare professionals, doctors, nurses, hospitals, people in the healthcare business, to really get them to understand human behaviors and how to get people to want to listen and act so they are more medically adherent, right? So my dream is to be able to teach at med schools and hospitals around the world, teach the clinical people how best to utilize a lot of the technologies so that it could really have an effect.
Right. So you're really, it seems like it's kind of the age-old issue of taking the super duper smart people and all the stuff they know and all of their knowledge and translating it down to the rest of us who are trying to understand it so that we can use it in a realistic way. Because I think that technology is that bridge to me in a lot of ways, because I don't understand half of what my doctor tells me to do. I have to have my wife translate it for me. She's a nurse, so she can explain it all to me. But I know if something says take this 3 times a day, take this, this is going to make you feel better. I think your technology, from what I understand, what I'm hearing, really kind of makes everything more accessible for the end user.
Yeah, and very easy. Like, we're starting a project in Kenya at Aga Khan Hospital for pregnant women. Some of these women have to walk hours for an appointment with a doctor. And when a simple message to them about what needs to be done, and our system's two-way, so they could actually respond, and our system responds to them. So we can really, because what do they have in a lot of countries in Africa? They all have cell phones, right? So we can actually communicate to people. And interestingly enough, we did a project in rural Nebraska, and we're looking to do one in rural Ireland. If you're 2 hours from a hospital in rural Nebraska or Ireland and an hour and a half from your doctor, and it starts getting dark at night in the winter, a lot of people panic,
right.
So, and clinicians can't be with them all the time,
sure.
But we can through our virtual concierge. So we've actually had success in making people feel more relaxed and about themselves, not panic, and feel like they have a buddy with them. That's what life's about.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. So I think I feel like we've gone full circle here, because we've gone basically from young Swedish girls to now pregnant Kenyan women.
Right.
So I think that we've kind of run the gamut. So I think this is a good place to kind of check mark. And Bob, I'm going to ask you, if people want to learn more about what you do, your products, what you guys are all about, is there a website? Where can I learn more? Who can I call? What can I do?
Yeah, the best thing is to go to our website's really good. It's GoMoHealth.com. That's GOMO Health.com. And in there has a lot of our contact information. Our offices is right in Asbury Park, New Jersey. So I would love to get to know some local people and healthcare professionals.
That would be great. And your homework, I'm going to check out the website. I'm actually on there right now. Your homework is to watch Ex Machina. Okay, and I'm telling you, you're going to think of me, and you're going to love the movie, by the way, because I don't know anybody who hasn't.
As long as I don't have to say it 5 times fast,
don't,
I'll screw that up. But I will watch it.
And you can say it as Yiddish as you want. It could be ex machina.
Ex
It doesn't
machina.
matter. It's all right. We're going to
Right.
have to clean off the microphones now. Bob Gold, GoMo Health, thank you so much for joining in the studio bright and early. We'll be back. Wake Up with Jeremy Grunin right after this.